Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 here at Rawslowgaming with the Bath City Football Club, where we're trying to take them to the top of Premier League and beyond out in Europe. Here we are, our first season in Skybet League 2, and we are doing pretty darn well for ourselves. As you see, we are currently 7th in the league with almost 2/3 of the league played. So we are actually in it with a chance to get a playoff spot for promotion at least, and that would certainly be much better than we expected. We expected to be fighting quite bravely really for not getting relegated, so that would certainly be interesting. And we have finished scouting Chapman here, who were suggested as a good player for us to sign, but at the moment it doesn't seem like he is even interested in signing to our club. So don't know why we tried to scout him, but we can try with a loan offer, and yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be likely either, so we will not do that. And we have a manager here that is unhappy with how much football one of their loan players get in our team, and we're going to reply, or I did reply to him, just that we are designing the team and not any other player, so to say, or other manager. And let's see here, Sangster is wanting to leave, and I guess I can understand him since he doesn't really get to play and isn't really developing in a good way due to not having playing time, of course. So let's see here, what should we say here? And this is to the press, I guess. And what will we say? Well, basically, I will say it like that. And let's see here. I don't really like the option here either. Say that we have nothing to say more than that we will let him leave if he wants to. Yeah, and Sangster weren't too happy about that, unfortunately. And Gosling is improving here still, and that is very good, because he is a player that we are hoping very much on for the future. And some report on Akinol here. Unfortunately not getting better, which is something we could have hoped. So let's start some individual training here from the training advice we got from our coach, Jamie Crowder. And we should end at the individual training for one player as well, according to him. So we'll do that as well. And yeah, as I said, we are 7th in the league, so doing quite well. Next game we will be playing Doncaster, who are 16th in the league, but we will be playing as an away team, so we'll be a little bit harder, being the away team always, as you guys know. And we are in the middle of transfer season, or the transfer period, and we get in an offer here for Jordan, and I don't really want to sell him since he is a stable backup player for us, but then again, he is not really getting so much playing time, but still I don't really think we want to sell him at this stage, and we'll just go with a no comment. It's better than actually giving a response. As you saw last time we tried to do that, things didn't really go our way. So that is pretty much the line we will continue on throughout this episode, at least, while we're remembering that, and hopefully throughout the series. And got a new deal here to Morris, who were on a part-time contract, and now up to a full-time contract, and hopefully that will be good for his development here, or a best defender, or a second best defender actually. And they have also getting a new contract, and hopefully he finally can start to improve for reals, since he has good potential ability at least. But the training part-time isn't going to solve anything really, even though he's getting experience from a higher level than before. He needs to be training full-time to take proper advantage of that, and hopefully we will see just that here throughout the game. So we'll see here very shortly what the bookmakers think of our chances here in the match against Doncaster. But first we will have a scouting meeting here. Decent on a national level. Plays for loan, yeah, don't really care. Definitely not a good loan player for us. Doesn't look interesting there either. The free agents, unfortunately. And we get some pre-match tactical advice, and nothing special here at all, really. And let's see here. Good turnout, 6,100 tickets supposed to be sold for Doncaster Rovers, so that's definitely good. Would be so nice if we had those attendance numbers for Bad City, but we don't. According to the bookmakers, it's a very much an even game here against Doncaster, so we will see how close it is just in a minute here. First, we will go through the training though. So 7.78 as an average for the first team, 7.7 for under 23s, and 7.97 for under 19s. So we'll praise a few players here. I definitely think it's time to do just that. So let's see here. We'll praise for Solid's performance. And we'll praise Jones' performance here as well. And then we'll check the first team, of course, as this that we always do. So Luke Gray improving quite sharply here on a few, but that we have seen already, I do believe. Gosling, I do believe we have seen the changes as well. Poncelli actually getting a little bit better, so that's good. Hit a lot, not our player. Unfortunately, O'Connor a little bit on stats we don't really care about. Charles getting some small improvement, but still pretty good for us. Canola, unfortunately not. I said Morris, hopefully he will start to gaining faster here. And let's see here. Eloy not doing much. Lundström not happening too much either. And De Havilland not much either here. He's rather have dropped down in pretty much, well, also stayed pretty much the same throughout his career with us. But for now, let's praise Gray here. And let's see here. More Gosling can definitely do a praise here. And we'll do that. Same thing for Ponticelli. And we'll continue the game here and do the lineup here very shortly for the match against Doncaster Rovers. So let's check out these two mailboxes first about the under 23s and under 18s matches. That isn't really that interesting. And two more news here. Fitness report. Quite a few players that shouldn't play according to our fitness report, I guess. But we're still going to play Gosling and Ponticelli, for example, that also were in that report. So let's see here. So we should have Morris instead of Akinola. Merch, we should have right back here. That is better. And that is Baker. That looks correct. So we should have Lundstrom and De Havilland. Is that correct? No, not really, but where is Scholz? Scholz is here. So Lundstrom. What's your status? Yeah, you're about as Scholz is, but you're 24. So how have you developed? Showing some signs actually of getting better. And Scholz, how are you doing? So you have a pretty long contract, but also have actually started to improve. So and now we'll actually go back with Scholz. He's also have a little bit of a higher average rating, so that's good. And we'll put in, or actually we'll let Gray stay here as first player for now, I think. He's been alright. So we're trying to play Gray more, so he gets more experience, so he can improve faster, since he have decent potential ability actually. And yeah, that seems like a pretty good fit to me. So we'll continue the game here, and we'll see how we will do. And we'll just kick off the game straight off, as we will always do here on Rawslowgaming. Even though we are taking it raw and slow, we are sort of rushing it from time to time as well. For example, I've said many times, and I'm going to say it again here, that you should probably have looked a little bit more on the tactics there before starting this match, but I think it's all right. And it's a goal here for Doncaster Rovers, unfortunately, in the 7th minute, or 9th minute actually. And again, but I have a very beautiful stadium here that is pretty much very much not packed, so to say. So, but still having 6K attendance or something like that. So, very impressive in that way. So, next highlight here in the 14th minute, Bath City with the ball, but losing it in the attacking half of it, but getting a chance to do a counter-attack there, and Gray crosses in the ball to Gosling and just over the top of the bar there, unfortunately. And highlight straight after here on that goal kick. The ball to Akinola and a long ball towards Ponticelli. And seems to be, O'Connor snatching up the loose ball to Gosling and saved there by the keeper, unfortunately, but some good chances there. We'll show some passion here, and a new highlight pretty soon thereafter again on a goal kick from the Doncaster keeper, but the ball managed to end up in Bath City's team, and some panic clearing there from Doncaster Rovers keeper, but then Doncaster Rovers takes control of the ball and out for a goal kick, and I don't know why we were shown that at all, but that is how it is sometimes in this game, for sure. So we have show some passion. I think we should shout something more, like demand more. I think the team definitely can do better than they are doing. I don't know if that got through. Yeah, I guess it did. And wow, that is crazy how many shots Doncaster have gone through or managed to put in this match so far. So the scoreline after one half is 0-1 for Bassett versus Doncaster. Shots 7-17, shots on target 44, and possession of 42-58%. So definitely feel like we could improve a lot here in the second half. And we will try to demand more of our players overall, and somehow we blame the keeper for losing that goal in the first half. Well, I guess the ball did bounce off him, but still, don't feel like it was his fault, so to say. And we'll keep shouting here and start with Show Some Passion. And we'll also do substitution here pretty soon. And I think we'll do 2 defenders here switching in. So in with Jordan. And also in with, see here, yeah. Is that correct? No, it doesn't really help. So we'll switch that back and we'll put in Merch instead of Akon. We'll put in Heat instead of Gray here. So all 3 changes at once, and we'll get the highlight here in the 64th minute. The ball to O'Connor here on the right hand side, passes back, and a long ball up towards our attackers, but unfortunately only to the keeper of Doncaster. And here's the goal kick, and let's see what happens here. So Doncaster taking control of the ball here in the very middle, and passing it pretty poorly, and Bassett taking control of the ball, and a long ball towards Ponticelli, unfortunately not reaching it, but the goalkeeper stressed her a little bit, and again a long ball towards our attackers, but it's a goal here for Bassett, and it's all equal after 65 minutes on a very lucky goal, but very much thankful or coming from our high press, so to say. A very cheap goal there. Basically one of their defenders passing to our attacker, but we are definitely just saying thank you for that goal, so to say. Next highlight here in the 69th minute, and Doncaster through here, 1-on-1 versus keeper, and unfortunately it's a goal, so retaking the lead here directly after our equalizer, unfortunately. So a very short-lived happiness there, so to say, or celebration for us. Not really much to do about that, missing in our marking, really, I guess. And next up here we have another highlight here in the 71st minute. The ball with a Doncaster, but we are clearing it. Unfortunately not that good, but up to the keeper of Doncaster. And we'll see here, high press again from our players, and we managed to get the ball back. Ponticelli through 1-on-1, but shooting pretty much straight at the keeper. And the keeper says it out to a corner. And that said corner is coming in now, and it's a goal for Bassett here from Jordan, or a substitute that is coming in here, and it's all equal here again in the match here in the 71st minute, 2-2 for Bassett versus Doncaster, and a real nice goal there actually. And 15 minutes to go here. And I sort of feel like we have a slight upper edge, but there were certainly very near a goal for Doncaster on that corner. So I sort of don't want to see more highlights, but still I do want to see more highlights, because I think we can win and maybe should win. Gosling 1-on-1 versus keeper and just hitting the crossbar there, and hit. Not able to get in that cross, but out for a corner. And I said, I think this is a very close game, and actually maybe some slight advantage to us. Shots with the corner here, unfortunately, straight at the keeper. Yeah, at least if we're looking at shots on target, then we have the upper hand. Not that much on shots though, but yeah, it's all right, and we should have the final whistle here any second, and I guess this is the highlight for just that. still waiting for the final whistle, and there we have it finally. So the final scoreline for Bastard versus Doncaster is 2-2. Shots 16-21, shots on target 10-5, possession 44-56%. Since we were struggling and behind pretty much the whole match, I sort of say that we are happy with the end result, getting 1 point here. But overall, I feel like we delivered more and should have been able to win that game. But 1 point is all right on the away pitch. So after that match, we are 7th in the league, 5 points up to straight promotion spot, and 23 points clear of the relegation zone. So we'll continue here, and while we do move between matches here in this episode, remember to smash that like button if you are enjoying this episode or this series. And if you are enjoying the series and isn't subscribed yet, remember to hit that subscribe button as well, so you're not missing out on any of the content that we post daily here on Rawslowgaming. So with that said, let's get back and focus on the game here at hand. Or maybe rather focus on you guys. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty fine myself, actually. At the end of the week, as I'm recording this Thursday night, so just one more day of regular work to do before the weekend, and actually spending some time with the family, my dad and brothers, and we're just going to have a nice weekend at our parents' house with respective partner and kids and everything, so it will be pretty nice, some good food and some good company. And it's actually not that far to Christmas and everything like that, so it's the time is running so fast always, so it's things just keep coming around, so to say. It's pretty darn crazy. I know, like, you have had Thanksgiving pretty closely over in the US, I think. So this time of year, everything is going very, very, very fast. So we get some play development advice from our coach here, and nothing too much to note here. We should criticize Akon, so we will do that for his last performances. And actually my throat is acting up here again, which it sometimes does, especially when playing this game, actually, sort of, since it involves me talking pretty much, actually. Just because, well, you don't have any background sound, background music or anything like that. And commenting all the matches and everything like that. So decline the transfer deadline day. We don't really care about that. We are not going to sign anyone during our transfer window, at least. And we are not really trying to sell Sangster. But we could do it, but I don't really want to sell him. We have used him pretty much, actually, as well. So we will just reject the offer and risk not getting anything for him, but that's all right. I'd rather have the depth of the squad as things stand. We have too few players to spare, so to say. So we risk that he gets unsettled, not being allowed to talk to the club that got an offer from him. I believe it was Grimsby. But it should be all right, nonetheless. So hopefully we'll get through this transfer window here pretty fast, so we can continue towards the next match day, that is against Notts County, I believe. So some pretty big transfer for Sky Bet League 2 with a couple of 100k. That should be considered pretty big for Sky Bet League 2, I guess. So I said, next game against Notts County, and we are playing at home. They are 14th in the league, so hopefully we should be able to get the result with us this time, but we will see. Potentially they're being third best in the league for that month, so that's pretty nice as well. And the financial result for last month, we did a profit of 60k, which is nice, and so far income, well, season profit or win is around 200-300k, I think, before the prize money and everything like that. So that is going to be very nice for us for next season, being able to get so much money in, and that will mean that we will be able to improve some of our facilities. And we will focus on the youth players as we always do, since we are building for the future. We are going to focus on getting our young players as good as possible. And again, according to the bookmakers here, it's going to be a very even game against Notts & Co. Our first team here averaging 8.25 in training last week. And under 23s 7.93, under 18s 7.72. So pretty darn well all around. Gray not having anything improved here at first, potentially improving a little bit more. Merch actually jumping up here very much, which is nice. Sharp jump here on pretty much all the things. Concentration actually jumping 1 whole point directly, over 1 point actually, from 1 month to another, which is very impressive. And he actually as well has pretty good potential ability, but not gotten that much better, so to say. Let's see here. How is he training? He's a hot prospect, and he's gotten to play a little bit, but not much. Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, that improvement is really, really good, actually. Sort of should play him more with that improvement pace, but I don't think we will. I can only finally getting a little bit better, so that's nice. And nothing really else to note here so far. So let's actually see here. De Havilland, you should be... Yeah, you're on a full-time contract. Yeah. So that's just all the advice that he should be training full-time. He actually is now. And I think our episode here is running a little bit long, actually. Don't know quite why, but I guess it was the transfer window, and it's just me talking a lot of about nothing pretty much here. So all the players here pretty darn fit, but we should maybe rest Gosling here for one match at least. So we'll do that and put in Adloy and let him play here. And we should probably not try to put in Gosling, so we can rest one full match here. Other than that, it looks alright. I think De Havilland could use a little bit of a rest as well. So we'll actually put in Lundström here for one match. And we'll continue. just dialing it back here slightly to have a little bit more rotation than we have had throughout the season or throughout the game. I think that might be good, trying to do a little bit more rotation to have a little bit better development overall in the team, maybe with that done. O'Connell with the ball here on the right hand side in this highlight, unfortunately losing the ball there, and the ball all the way down to our keeper, or to Akinola, who tried to clear it but failed pretty much. But Gray here with a long ball up towards the attackers, unfortunately straight at the defenders in Knots and Co, and getting the ball up here, and they are through on a one-on-one, and it's a goal for Knots and Co here in the 4th minute, unfortunately. So not a very good start at all for Bath City Football Club. And I certainly hope that we can do better than this. As I said, definitely not a good start to the match. But yeah, again, a pretty cheap goal, I feel, here. But we should be able to do better. I've seen that we have overall better condition on our players than they have. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage in the end of the game. So far, though, we haven't shown that we are stronger in terms of stats. We have actually 0 in shots, and they have 6 so far after 30 minutes. But maybe that will all change here in this highlight that we have going on here in the 32nd minute. But Notsko coming here on the left-hand flank, and it's another goal for Knots and Co. And the scoreline now 0-2 for Bath City versus Knots and Co. So our team here are looking very bleak, actually, and not at all promising for the 60 minutes that we have left of this game. And highlight straight on the kickoff after that. A long ball towards Ponticelli. Will he win that ball? He actually does in the end, and the ball to Gray. And Gray shooting just outside the post there. But no interaction from the keeper, but looked pretty dangerous. Next highlight here in the 35th minute. Knots and Co get it through again, but Gray snapping up the ball and aiming at Adeloy, but unfortunately not getting through. And the ball to Morris, who lost the ball in a very dangerous place, and it's another goal for Knots and Co here. So the scoreline 0-3 now after 35 minutes for Bath City versus Knots and Co. And yeah, I think we have lost all the chances now of winning this game, unfortunately. And yeah, not happy at all how the players have performed so far in this match. And I think we should switch Morris out here for this match, and we will do just that and put in Jordan here instead. Overall, our whole team actually have a terrible rating at 6.3 or lower pretty much all across the board. And a highlight here in the 42nd, 33rd minute, and I guess that last highlight of the match, the ball to Ponticelli, lobs it and hitting the top of the bar there, unfortunately, and not getting to the second ball. A new highlight here, and it's a goal for Bath City and Ponticelli here in the 44th minute, and it's 1-3 now, so actually maybe a small chance still to turn things around here. It's certainly a good time to do a goal and try to change the standing or the feelings of this match. I hope that the lads feel like they have turned on a little bit of hope here for the second half that is about to begin after our halftime talk. So the scoreline after one half, 1-3 for Bath City versus Knots and Co. Shots 3-9, shots on target 2-5, and possession 49-51%. So overall, pretty even in terms of the game, but overall, very bad performance from pretty much all the players. So we are going to say that to pretty much all the players. All players here at 6.3 or lower. So we'll continue here. And we'll do our first shout of the match, and we'll show some passion. To start with, we get a highlight here. Now in the 53rd minute, Akinola with the ball on the free kick, passing to O'Connor to Charles, and unfortunately a long ball with the wrong address, straight into the keeper's arms of Notts & Co. And unfortunately getting through here on that goal kick, and it's another goal for Notts & Co. And if the game wasn't decided before, it certainly is now, and the scoreline 1-4 for Bassett versus Notts & Co. in the 53rd minute. And again, feel like it were a very cheap goal here that we gave away. And we have a couple of more players here that is not having a good game. And Adelaide getting an injury here, so got to put in Gosling, who we were saying we would try to rest. And we will be putting in Heat instead of O'Connor, switching things around there. And this is pretty much all we can do here, unfortunately. And losing pretty much all our goal difference here as well, or a lot of it, as things are standing. New highlight here in the 70-minute mark. Notts & Co. with the ball again here, just a bit outside our penalty area. And retaking control of the ball again, just outside our penalty area, and passing the ball back and forth here, and maybe passing it forward here. Yeah, on the right-hand corner or right-hand side of the pitch. And the cross is in, and it's another goal for Notts & Co. here, making the scoreline now 1-5. And certainly a dreadful game here so far, and not much going right at all here for us. Again, cheap goal. I feel like the markings weren't there at all, or marking the player weren't there at all, and not much to do at all here. I can't change any more players, can't really shout. I can try to alter the tactics, but we are never going to turn around 3 goals or 4 goals at this stage. Maybe earlier, but then again, I'm not comfortable or good with changing the tactics, so I think I would maybe just have made it worse. So I'm sticking with the shouts and things like that pretty much at the moment. But if you want to see me do more or try more things, do leave a comment and let me know about it. And I will certainly take that into consideration for the future. So with 5 minutes to go here of the match, nothing else is likely to happen. We have 3 minutes to go, so this is a highlight that is not for the final whistle, and it's another goal for Notts & Co. And I were certain that shot were outside the post, but must have been hooked in just inside the goal. That is an unusual angle to get a goal in Football Manager for sure, but a very beautiful goal there actually. So a little bit unsure if this will be a highlight for the final whistle, or final whistle. Apparently not so, since we hit the post there, but unfortunately not getting in. So the scoreline 1-6 here, and that will be the final scoreline, I think, here, because I think this is the final whistle, but maybe Notts & Co. can get in an even more goal here before the final whistle. No, they couldn't, so there it is. Final scoreline 1-6 for Bassett versus Notts & Co. Shots 15-15, shots on target 4-9, possession 52-48%. So looking at the stat, this should have been an even game, but it wasn't. and we didn't have any player that did perform at all. I think maybe this is the first time I've seen so many players with red stats 6 or lower. So five players in our team had 6 or lower, and 5 more players 6.2 or lower pretty much, and we had like 4 or 5 players only that had decent rating, or not decent, just okay, standard rating at 6.6 or 6.7. So really dreadful. Anyway, after that match, at 8th place in the league, 7 in goal difference of the playoff zone, and still 23 points clear of the relegation zone. 2,693 attending in that game, so not that great, and Adelaide out for 2 to 4 days. And that will be everything for this episode. That have certainly gone out a little bit in time, but I hope you have enjoyed it nonetheless. But for you that have watched, thank you so much, and I will see you next time here on the channel. Bye bye. You have been watching Rawslowgaming, and I hope you have enjoyed. On clicking on the video on the left, you will see the next video in this series, and on the right, our latest upload to the channel. And with that said, thank you again for watching.